Could you introduce yourself for the people who don't know you?
My name's Sandra H. I'm a journalist and a digital producer for Lion's Roar magazine.
Why did you want to go into journalism?
I was the first graduating class from Citadel High School in Halifax
Oh,
when it
okay.
was really new. We were the first class to have started and finished there. When I finished, I actually applied to go to Concordia in Montreal and I didn't get in. And I had only applied to one place, so I had a whole
Oh,
year to kill. Um, so I actually did some caregiving, continuous caregiving, and you don't need anything other than just a high school education. So I did that for a year, and it was really emotionally tough, especially working with people who are close to death. So I decided I had to go to school, and when it came to deciding what will I go to school for to study, I decided to do political science because that's what I was
hmm.
into. I started doing that. First year was great, exciting, and my second year I started working for the campus paper at St. Mary's. I was the editor in chief, kind of by a fluke because someone else had actually gotten that job and quit the day before school started. But yeah, that's how I got into journalism. It really was the campus paper. My day to day work life.
Yeah.
My day to day work life now looks like this, like just being right here. I don't work in a traditional newsroom, which I imagine is nearly impossible to do right now.
Y-
What I do a lot of the time is I work with content that actually helps people, so I enjoy that. My day actually might include some meditation or
Oh, awesome.
visualization. And I talk to some people who are really famous in the Buddhist world. We do online events with people. So I do a lot of
Wow.
remote video
Yeah.
and a lot of working with, again, even though I left caregiving, working with a lot of seniors, helping them figure out their technology, because so many of the OGs in Buddhism
Yeah, they're
are
pretty
like
old.
70 and 80 now.
Yeah.
So my greatest success in life,
Yeah, hard-hitting questions.
in my whole life, my greatest success.
Well, up to
Um,
now. Who knows?
yeah, okay. I think my greatest success in life so far has been getting this job because journalism is a really inaccessible profession. It seems like anybody could do it, and technically anybody can do it, and you don't have to go to school to be a journalist. Um, but it's if you want to be like a serious journalist, if you
Right.
want to work for a newsroom, it's so inaccessible. My first year, I was doing freelance work, which is insane. I ended up covering the housing beat for the coast, and it's kind of a really thankless job. You get paid very little, and when
Mm.
you get paid per word and you get a good pay, you actually have to write for like East Coast Living magazine or Buy a Home
Okay.
Today magazine. It's not talking about people with disabilities being warehoused in institutions. It's not talking about Airbnb taking over housing in the area.
Right. It's not the
You don't
important
get
stuff. It's
paid for
just kind
that.
of,
Yeah. My advice to someone trying to get into journalism would be to pace yourself and remember that when you're learning journalism, when you go to journalism school, it's extremely competitive and that can be tough. But the actual journalism world is not that competitive, and journalists do tend to be good people, so you should reach out for help whenever you need it. And of all the professions, journalists and media freelancers are always open to help other people.
what challenges have you had to overcome to achieve those successes?
I literally spent 7 years going to school, doing volunteer work, upgrading my skills. I had a side hustle, I had two side hustles, I had three part time jobs. And in the end, this job that I got was just because someone had noticed it and mentioned it to me.
Okay,
But
yeah.
one of the biggest challenges was trying to weigh that, like you have to let the world know who you are and that this is what you do. So you have to have like a website, you have to have
Mm.
experience, of course, you have to work for free, sometimes you have to do volunteer work, but it does pay off eventually. You just can't possibly guess how. But I don't come from a very wealthy background, and my mother was a single mother. So I didn't have a lot of like financial support. I had to take care of both of my parents actually while I was in university, so that made it hard to finish. There's all kinds of things.
Hmm.
Life comes up, right?
Yeah.
It's and that's when you really start to notice that a lot of the people who are in journalism are extremely privileged, that they don't have to take care of their parents and they don't have to work, and but you know you gotta try not let that get you down because it does pay off eventually.
Do you find there's any connections between the Ubuntu concepts and the Buddhist concepts?
Oh yeah, I mean it's kind of strange how similar they are. Um, One of the big things in Buddhism is the concept of interconnectedness.
Mhm.
Um, in this tissue paper that I have, this paper had to come from somewhere. There's probably hundreds of people who worked on getting this piece of tissue to my nose.
Right.
um, so that's the concept of interconnectedness, and I see that related to Ubuntu because, well, it's just about interconnectedness, really.
What does Black History Month mean to you?
Hmm. What does Black History Month mean to me? For me, it's just an opportunity to
Mm.
talk about things that other times of the year, in the past, I have felt like I was not allowed to talk about certain topics. And then Black History Month creates an opportunity that we
Right.
can talk about uncomfortable things. So I appreciate it, even though some people say there shouldn't be a Black History Month. It's all year it's okay
Yeah.
to talk about Black history and amplify Black experiences and contributions. And that's true. All year is a good time to do those things, but I think it's really great to have a month where, um, all those people who maybe felt silenced,
Hmm.
um, this is a big sign that says we're allowed to talk about this right now.
Yeah.
I'll actually share this. It used to be a tradition for a couple of years that I would do in February. I had noticed that there's no black hair care products at the Shoppers on Spring Garden.
Hmm.
And I'm still really upset about that, so I should
Yeah.
revive that tradition. But every February, I would put up another like prompt on Twitter or whatever that's
Hmm.
like they still don't have this. It just and so it's nice to have a month where it's like I'm not just harping on about something that only affects me because it's
Right.
part of Black History Month.
Yeah.